Welcome to the Alcohol Reset, the podcast that helps you reset your habits, health, and relationship with alcohol without judgment or extremes. If you're looking to cut back, take a break, or just understand how drinking can affect your body and mind, you're in the right place. Each episode brings you science-backed insights on neuroscience, nutrition, and habit change to help you feel better, sleep deeper, and take control on your terms. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, best-selling author, neuroscience enthusiast, and habit change expert. I've helped thousands through my book and podcast to rethink their drinking, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Let's get started. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, founder of Cloud9 and author of No Willpower Required. Today I want to talk about something that sounds simple on the surface, but is actually much deeper once you understand the biology: night driving after alcohol. And let me be very clear from the start, this is not about figuring out how much you can drink and still drive. If you've been drinking, the safest choice is not to drive. The reason I want to talk about this is because a lot of people assume alcohol only affects driving in obvious ways. They think of slow reaction time, poor coordination, or bad decisions. And yes, those matter. But alcohol can also change how your eyes and brain work together, especially in low light. That means you can feel mentally fine and still have visual processing that is already compromised. Picture this. You're leaving a restaurant, a party, or an event at night. You don't feel drunk. You don't feel out of control. But as you get on the road, everything feels slightly harder than usual. Oncoming headlights feel painfully bright. Street signs are harder to read until you're closer. The road seems less defined. Dark areas feel darker, and you don't have the same confidence behind the wheel. Most people brush that off. They blame tired eyes. They blame aging. They blame a long day at work. But alcohol can directly interfere with the visual system, and the first place to understand this is the pupil. Your pupils are constantly adjusting to control how much light enters your eyes. In bright light, they shrink. In darkness, they widen so you can take in more light. That adjustment has to happen quickly, especially at night. Driving after dark is full of sudden lighting changes: a dark road, a bright headlight, a street lamp, a shadow, another headlight. Your pupils are constantly being asked to adapt. Alcohol slows the communication between your nervous system and the tiny muscles that control those pupils. So your eyes may still respond, but they respond more slowly. This is sometimes described as pupil lag, and that creates a major issue called glare recovery. Let's say you're driving down a dark road. Your pupils are wide because your eyes are trying to capture as much light as possible. Then a car comes over a hill in the opposite direction with bright headlights. Normally, your pupils would quickly constrict to protect your vision. Then, after the car passes, they would widen again so you can see the dark road. But when alcohol slows that response, the adjustment takes longer. The headlights feel more blinding. Halos around lights can seem stronger, and after the car passes, it takes longer for your vision to reset. That delay might only be a few seconds, but on the road, a few seconds is a lot. This is also why people may not notice the problem indoors. In a restaurant or bar, the lighting is mostly stable. Your eyes are not being forced to rapidly jump between darkness and bright glare. You may feel like your vision is fine. Then you walk into a dark parking lot or get onto a dim road, and suddenly your eyes are being asked to do something much harder. That is when the impairment becomes obvious. The second issue is contrast sensitivity. At night, your eyes rely much less on color and much more on contrast. You are not seeing the world with the same sharp detail you have during the day. Instead, you're trying to separate objects from the background using subtle differences in light and dark. That matters because many road hazards are low contrast: a pedestrian in dark clothing, a deer near the tree line, a curb, a pothole, a lane marking that is faded. Those things may still be physically in your field of vision, but they do not stand out as clearly. Alcohol can reduce contrast sensitivity, which means your brain has a harder time separating an object from its background. So the danger is not always that you fail to see something completely. Sometimes the danger is that you see it too late. The light is reaching your eyes, but your brain is not registering the detail with enough clarity or speed. Now add another layer: eye coordination. Your brain is constantly combining two slightly different images, one from each eye, into one clear three-dimensional picture. That process helps with depth perception and distance judgment. Alcohol can disrupt that coordination, so judging how far away another car is, how fast something is moving, or whether a pedestrian is stepping into your lane becomes harder. Your eyes are taking in low-contrast information, your pupils are adapting slowly, your depth perception is less reliable, and your brain is being handed weaker data at the exact moment it needs precision. That leads us to the next problem, the brain itself. Vision is not just about the eyes, it's about interpretation. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant, which means it slows communication throughout the nervous system. So even after your eyes detect something, your brain still has to identify it, judge the danger, decide what to do, and send the signal to your body. That process becomes slower. At 45 miles per hour, a car travels about 66 feet every second, so if your visual system and brain are delayed by even 1 second, you've already moved the length of a large room before your body fully responds. That's why alcohol-related driving risk is not just about whether your foot can hit the brake, it's about whether your brain identifies the need to brake quickly enough. Now, let's add the multiplier that makes all of this worse: fatigue. Night driving usually happens when you are already tired. Maybe it is late. Maybe you slept poorly the night before. Maybe alcohol has already started affecting your energy and alertness. Fatigue alone can strain the eyes. Your blink rate changes. Your eyes can become drier. The tiny muscles that control focus get tired faster. Your ability to maintain sharp visual attention starts to drop. Now, combine that with alcohol. Your pupils are slower. Your contrast sensitivity is weaker. Your eye coordination is less precise. Your nervous system is slower. And your tired eyes are being asked to perform perfectly in one of the most demanding visual environments, nighttime roads. That is why this combination is so dangerous. Not because one thing goes wrong, because several small things go wrong at once, and together they create a much bigger risk. This is also why someone can say, "I feel fine," and still be impaired. Feeling fine is not the same as seeing clearly. Feeling fine is not the same as processing quickly. Feeling fine is not the same as being safe behind the wheel. Alcohol does not need to make you feel obviously drunk before it changes the way your visual system performs. So, what can you actually do with this information? First, the most important step is simple. Do not drive after drinking, especially at night. Use a rideshare. Call someone. Plan ahead. Choose a designated driver. Stay where you are if you need to. There is no supplement, coffee, cold shower, or trick that instantly fixes pupil lag, contrast loss, or slowed reaction time. Those are nervous system effects. You cannot outsmart them in the moment. Second, be aware of lighting transitions. Even when you are sober, your eyes need time to adjust when you move from a bright environment into darkness. After alcohol, that adjustment can be slower. So walking out of a bright bar, restaurant, or venue into a dark parking lot is a moment where your visual system may be struggling more than you realize. Third, respect fatigue. If you are tired, your visual system is already under strain. Add alcohol to that, and the risk becomes much higher. Now, when we talk about recovery after drinking, there are a few nutrients worth understanding. And I want to be clear again, these do not make drinking and driving safe. They do not reverse intoxication. They do not fix your vision in the moment. They are about helping your body recover after alcohol has stressed your system. One important nutrient is vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. Thiamine helps your body convert food into usable energy. It's especially important for brain and nervous system function. Alcohol can deplete thiamine, partly because it increases fluid loss and can interfere with normal nutrient status. When B1 is low, the brain and nervous system may not feel as sharp the next day. That can show up as fogginess, fatigue, and slower thinking. Another key compound is NAC, or N-acetylcysteine. NAC helps support glutathione, one of the body's most important antioxidant systems. When alcohol is metabolized, it creates oxidative stress. Your body uses glutathione to help manage that stress and protect cells. This is why next-day recovery support often focuses on B vitamins and NAC, and it's also why Daily Restore includes nutrients like benfotiamine, a highly bioavailable form of B1 and NAC. Not as permission to overdrink, not as a safety tool for driving, but as support for the brain, liver, and antioxidant pathways alcohol can strain. Still, the best recovery plan starts before the night begins. Plan your transportation before drinking. Hydrate, eat a balanced meal, prioritize sleep afterwards, and give your body the next day what it actually needs: fluids, nutrients, real food, and rest. The bigger takeaway is this. When people think about alcohol and driving, they usually picture someone obviously intoxicated, slurred speech, poor balance, bad decisions. But some of the most dangerous changes are quieter. A pupil that adapts a little too slowly, a pedestrian who blends into the background, a headlight that blinds you a little longer, a brain that needs 1 extra second to understand what it's seeing. That 1 second matters. At road speed, 1 second is distance. 1 second is reaction time. 1 second can be the difference between noticing a hazard and reaching it. So the next time you're out at night and alcohol is involved, remember this. Your confidence is not the measurement. Your biology is. And even if you feel fine, your eyes and brain may already be working with delayed, distorted information. Protect yourself. Protect other people. Plan the ride before the first drink. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. And I'll talk to you again soon. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor. Leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. It helps keep the show going and would mean the world to me. Got ideas, comments, or questions? Shoot me an email at mike@trycloud9.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for extra support, check out Cloud9, makers of Daily Restore, a once-a-day supplement to support your body from alcohol's effects, and Rise and Unwind AM/PM, a 24-hour combo to curb cravings, balance mood, and improve sleep when taking a break. Go to trycloud9.com and use the code PODCAST to save 15% on your next order. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.